My name's Evan, and I'm the inventor of Scorch Paint. And today, I'm going to show you how to go from something like this to this in just a few minutes. And it's really simple, so stay with me. Here's the whole flow. Sand, wipe, apply your stencil, blot away the excess, remove the stencil, heat it up, and apply finishing oil. But don't worry, I'm going to break down each step simply so you can get clean, sharp lines that are gift or craft fair worthy. Most of our wins are going to begin right here with the prep work. We need to start by sanding. Your sanding kit's going to come with 5 different grits, but we're going to focus on 3 today. We're going to start by using our 120 grit sandpaper, and then we're going to move up to our 240 grit sandpaper, and then finishing it off with our 320 grit sandpaper. We want to sand in stages like this so we can get the smoothest surface possible. See all this wood grain, it's like straws, and the smoother it is, the cleaner your lines are going to be. You know, you might ask yourself, why not just start at 320? It creates more work. So if you stair step up in the grits, you'll end up getting a smoother finish and have to put in less effort and less time. So let's do it now. So we're going to start with our 120 grit sandpaper, and we're just going to simply attach it to the sanding block. And then we're going to go back and forth on the wood with the grain. Now, if you're curious and you want to make sure that you get everything sanded nice and smooth, you can take a pencil and draw light lines on the top of the surface. When the pencil marks are gone, you know you've sanded enough. Pencil marks are gone, that means we've sanded enough with our 120 grit sandpaper. So we're gonna peel it off just like that and move on to our 240 grit sandpaper. Let's bump up to our last stage of sandpaper, the 320 grit. All right, we're done. We can't be having this dust on here. I use a dry paper towel and I just wipe the surface clean. Now after you've wiped it off, it should feel nice and smooth. If it doesn't, feel free to sand some more. The smoother, the better. When your towel starts to come away clean, you know you've wiped off enough dust. This is really important because we want our stencils to stick, and if there's dust on the board, it might not create a seal, and the Scorch Paint can seep underneath, creating blurry lines or fuzziness. We don't want that. We want a nice, clean, sharp design. Today we're making a special cutting board for a friend of mine. We're gonna take a picture of her cat Sprinks. We're gonna wood burn it here into the top, and we're gonna use some of these letter stencils to put the name of the kitty right down below. It's gonna be a ton of fun, and it's gonna make a great gift. Just know that you can use vinyl stencils, mesh stencils, or even mylar stencils to get this to work. But my favorite is the mesh stencil because it's adhesive and you get a lot more detail. Before we go into applying the stencils, we've got to talk a little bit about wood species. Today we're using walnut, fantastic wood for Scorch Paint. But if you're using something tricky like oak or bamboo, you may want to consider using our pre-treatment. What you do is you take this clear liquid, you paint it onto the wood surface, and then you dry it with your hot air gun in about 30 seconds. It'll completely disappear and become totally transparent. But what it will do is will help prevent the paint from bleeding underneath your stencil. So if you're finding that you're getting bleeding or fuzzy lines, you may want to consider using our wood pre-treatment before you use your Scorch Paint. But today, we're just going to jump right into it because walnut works amazing and we won't need it. The next thing that we need to do is apply our mesh stencil. And this stencil I made myself. So you won't be able to find it online, but there's a ton of places out there where you can get great stencils. They're on Etsy, they're on Amazon. Anyone that makes mesh stencils with an adhesive back should work just great with Scorch Paint. Now when you're using adhesive stencils, you want to press from the inside towards the outside. This way you don't get any bubbles or creases. I even have a special roller right here that I'm going to use to press it down to make sure it really sticks. We want Sprinks to come out nice and sharp. Now, if you don't have a big roller like this, that's totally okay. You can use the backing of your mesh stencil and push on it like this because it will slide nicely right over the top. That can be really helpful for getting some of those tricky pieces. This step is really important. You really want this stencil down tight so none of the paint bleeds underneath. Now we're gonna move on to applying the Scorch Paint. I've got a fresh jar in front of me, so yours should look just like mine. I'm gonna take a razor blade and just cut the foil seal away. Your paint should look just like this. It should be a nice, clear, shiny gel. We designed it like this on purpose, to be thick when you need it to be. But if you take a paintbrush or a stir stick or anything like that, and you just agitate it a little bit, it will turn into a liquid. We've done that on purpose, so you can either scrape it using a silicone spatula, or paint with it using a paintbrush. Let's apply some Scorch Paint. I'm gonna grab my jar. I'm gonna avoid the liquidy area because I want some of the thicker stuff. It works better with the silicone scraper. I put a little bit on the tip, just like this, and then I begin simply scraping it over the design to work it into the stencil. Now remember, a little goes a long way. You only want to use the thinnest layer of Scorch Paint. If you use too much, it will bubble. If you use too much, it can flake away and not react with the wood properly. You just want a nice even coating. Now, if you have any extra on your stencil, like I do, you can simply come across it with the silicone scraper and scoop it up and put it right back into the jar just like this. And just like that, we're done. We've applied the Scorch Paint. But here comes a very important step. We're gonna grab a paper towel, place it over our design, and we are going to blot away the excess. You don't need to press down really hard. You just simply need to roll it across or use your hands and press over the paper towel to absorb any of the extra paint. Look how much came up. This is extra paint we do not want on our design. So let's do it one more time for good measure to make sure we got all the extra. When your paper towel looks like this, you know you've blotted away enough. Now, let's peel away the stencil and see how it looks. That looks fantastic. And you can see the mesh stencil is still intact. All I have to do is go over to the sink and rinse it out with some water, maybe a tiny bit of soap, and then I'll put it back onto the stencil sheet to let it dry, and it will be ready for the next project. It's one of the reasons why I love these stencils. They're so reusable. So we're gonna start by scorching the kitty, and then we're gonna put his name right up top. This is our Scorch Marker heat gun. We're gonna turn the heat gun on high after putting on our fine tip nozzle, and we're just gonna get the heat gun warmed up. Now, when we're heating this design, it's very important to keep the tip about 2 to 3 inches away from the wood. You want to see it change colors from red to blue and finally to black. Once you have a nice rich black burn, you'll know you've heated it enough. Now you want to keep the heat gun moving during this process because if you keep it in one spot too long, you might end up scorching the wood where you don't want it scorched. The heat from this hot air gun is really hot. You want to work around the image in like a circular pattern so you don't apply too much heat in one area. You can always come back and add more heat, but you can't take it away. Now, if you look at the board, and you look at the design, it looks amazing, yet there's still a few areas in here that are a little red and not dark all the way. And there's a reason I chose this board. I wanted you to see what happens when I run into a mistake, because it's really easy to fix. So all I'm gonna do is grab my paintbrush and a little Scorch Paint, and I'm just gonna touch up some of those areas that didn't turn black, and we can make it look great. Let's apply some more heat and see what happens. All right, that really did the trick. When you paint it on like that, you might find a little bit of soot. That's what happens when you use too much Scorch Paint, and I wanted to demo that as well. But what happens if you get it into an area like this and you don't want it there? The great news is that you can take like a little razor knife like this or a razor blade, and you can simply just scrape it away a little bit. Now, if you have a larger area that you've messed up, you can sand it all off and try again. Now let's move on to the lettering. So I have these really cool mesh letters, and I've cut them out so that I can lay them out here on the board and put the name Sprinks right above the cat. When working with letters and you have them all cut out like this, we have to kind of paint and scorch and lay them out in order. We can't do it all at once because there will be too much space in between the letters. So I start with the middle letter. This is a sign making technique. I'm gonna take my roller, I'm gonna push it down. Then I'm gonna grab my Scorch Paint and I'm gonna stir it up a little bit so it gets liquidy. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna ever so slightly dab some paint into the mesh stencil. We're gonna take our paper towel, blot away some of that excess so we don't have too much paint. Now we can remove the stencil, heat it up, and get our very first letter going. Okay, the I is complete. Let's do the N. And we're just gonna go over the R. Blot away the excess. Let's heat it up. That's looking really good. Let's take a clean towel, blot away the excess on this one. We don't need to rub, we don't need to scrape, we just need to press down and get some of that excess off. just press it down. Last step. I really like using the roller to blot away the excess. It makes it just so easy. Great. Now if you get a little bit of unwanted bleeding or you make a mistake somewhere, you can just come in here with the razor blade and just ever so subtly scrape away the edge of the design to clean it up and get it exactly how you like. The very last step in the process is to add some food grade finishing oil so you can protect the wood, protect your design, and get everything to pop. So this is our Scorch Marker finishing oil. It only has 3 ingredients and it is safe to use in your kitchen. So I'm gonna pour just a little bit on the surface like so. You can see how quickly that rich color pops out of the wood and gives it a complete finished look. I'm gonna take a paper towel. You can use any type of paper towel you want, or a cloth, or a microfiber, and all you have to do is spread the oil around and work it into the wood. Now, if you get a little bit of soot in your towel or a little bit of sawdust or dust from sanding, that's okay. We're working with wood after all, and that's totally normal. But if you get too much, it's because you applied too much Scorch Paint and it's sitting on top of the surface of the wood instead of reacting with it directly. That's why we only use a very thin layer, because it can soot and bubble if you use too much, and we don't want that. Now, while we're finishing up this board, let's cover some common frequently asked questions and some myths, so you can make sure that your project looks as good as mine. Now, if your design's bleeding or you're getting paint coming underneath the stencil or it's wicking along the wood grain, it's probably for a couple of reasons. First one, you need to sand a little bit more and get it smoother. Second, you need to press the stencil down and make sure it's adhered all the way so the paint can't leak underneath. This is why I prefer adhesive mesh stencils or vinyl stencils over things like Mylar. So use the wood pre-treatment if you absolutely need it. This will work with our Scorch Marker, Scorch Paint, and all of our products. And lastly, everything that we've created here, the finishing oil, the Scorch Paint, the wood, it is all food contact safe. So this is totally okay to use in your kitchen or give to somebody that's going to actually use it to cut up vegetables and meat or anything else they want. We don't want you using paint on your cutting boards. It'll flake off and get in your food and in your body. We don't want you to use Sharpie. That's toxic. That'll harm your body as well. Sometimes you can't use a wood burning tool because it's too challenging and it will leave little grooves and divots in the wood that will trap bacteria and food. So we've designed Scorch Paint to be the safest possible way to wood burn a cutting board in a fraction of the time at a fraction of the cost. And that's it. We're done. So if you want your projects to look just like this, all you have to do is follow the steps that we've laid out. Now, everything we've used in this video, aside from the stencils, is available on our website. The sanding kit, the cutting board, the Scorch Paint, the pre-treatment, the heat gun. I hope this video helped. You can reach us at help@scorchmarker.com if you have any questions. Otherwise, all the links you need will be left in the description of the video. Happy crafting.